beautiful day, sunshine, so nice. My wife asked me if I want to stay home, and I went, no, it was a beautiful day, and I want to go to work. So I got in my car. I was driving, turning on my favorite song, sipping coffee when I want to, and I was doing 40 miles per hour just to be safe. 40 miles per hour on the right lane. From nowhere, the guy behind me keep beeping, beep, beep, beep. Like, what? Come on, I was just doing 40 miles per hour and I was on the right lane. What's wrong with that? And he will keep beeping the whole time. So he changed lane to the left, passed me by, and then a chain of reaction happened. The next guy did the same thing, and then the guy from behind did the same thing. 1 minute later, I looked back. It was just only me on the road. That was nice. Lot of sunshine, my favorite song and coffee. I was driving just 40 miles per hour, just right. And then there was something right near my windshield. Ma'am Postmaster, my fellow EG speaker, and most welcome guests. There was something right near the windshield. That something was a fly. A fly was flying and it tried to bump the windshield. And I was thinking, how did the fly get inside the car? And now, what the fly was trying to do? So I was watching the fly. It bumped the windshield and bounced back. And then bumped the windshield again. I'd be like, what are you trying to do? You trying to get out? And at the whole time I was thinking, when the going got tough, try harder. Imagine what would happen to the fly if it took my advice and tried harder. The fly trying to break the windshield. Well, the first few times it failed, so I told the fly to try harder. And I think you know what will happen if the fly try harder. And the whole day when I came to work, I was thinking about the fly the whole time. Well, at noon and time for lunch, I was kind of hungry, so, I went to the vending machines, trying to have a candy bar, number 66. So I took out $1.25, put in $1, and then I was about to put in a quarter. The quarter slipped off my hand, and it went, I don't know, it dropped, and it's actually somewhere right now. I actually had exactly $1.25. Okay, I put in $1 in the vending machine, and a quarter was somewhere to be found, waiting for me somewhere. Well, I was in a nice dress with a tie and nice clothes, and I don't want to get all my clothes dirty. And I was looking behind to see if anybody was watching, so I bent down and looked for it. And after 30 seconds, somebody passed by, hey, what are you doing? You need help? And I was like, no, I'm okay. I was just looking for a quarter. And there it was. I found a quarter. I put it in the vending machine, $1.25, enough to get me a candy bar. So I pressed number 66. And as you know, when you have enough money and for the kind of candy bar you want, you just press the number and then the thing just coil, then came out what you want, right? But for me, the thing just went coil, then the candy got stuck right there. When you're hungry, you're not in a good mood, right? You don't want anybody to mess with you. But the vending machine actually screwed up my day. I just want to have something to eat to make me happy. But just the candy just stuck right there. Just only a little bit more push and then the candy come out and I would be happy. But the candy just stuck there. So, well, usually I would be a good boy, but that day I was hungry, so I had to try something different. I looked behind me, see if anybody was watching, get into position and try to tip the machine a little bit, try to get the candy to come out. a little shake. Nope, didn't happen. Then my co-worker passed by, hey, Tuyen, what you doing? I was just trying to tip the machine a little bit to get my candy bar. Well, he told me to try harder. Try harder. And I remember the fly. Try harder. Everybody in here know what happened to the fly if it try harder, right? Well, unconsciously, I took my co-worker advice. I try harder. So now, I would not tip the machine anymore. This time I would try to rock the vending machine. And I was trying to get ready to rock the machine, trying to settle the dispute once and for all. And then I saw the sign, do not tip or rock the vending machine, it could fall and kill you. Like, oh, actually trying harder is not the best solution. So after work, I got home and there was my 1-year-old nephew who was barely learning how to keep balance, but he wanted to run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, he actually fell right down his face, but he didn't cry. He actually did the belly laugh. And I was thinking, hey, little man, first you don't have to learn how to walk. If you wanted to run so bad, just try harder. Try harder, oh my gosh. And I was thinking about the fly and my experience with the vending machine. Okay, so my nephew was actually trying harder for a few times. He actually fell on his face. And then his nose was bleeding and he cried. Like, well, you took my advice without thinking. My Toastmaster and my fellow member of the Toastmaster program, most welcome guests. The conventional way was when the going got tough, try harder. But I think trying harder is not the solution we all want. How about try something new? Try smarter. For the fly that tried to get out of the car, well, I can just roll out the window there. That way to your lifetime of freedom and happiness. And my problem with the vending machines, just put in a different $1.25 and get 2 candy bars. And my nephew, well, you gotta take your time, you know. Learn things on your own clock. First, learn to keep your balance, walk and run later. And that concludes my speech, Madam Toastmaster.
And guests. Every time I listen to Tuyen's speech, or a speech given by Tuyen, it is always very entertaining. And one of the things that I discovered on this speech is that he got a reaction. There were a lot of chuckles, but he usually gets chuckles out of his speech. Now, his objective was to develop an entertaining, dramatic talk about an experience or incident. And the thing about his speech was it drew me in because I have had similar experiences. And you know, about the fly in the car, you know, I almost get in an accident trying to get the fly off the windshield kind of thing. And so that drew me in. And he sat down and pretended he was driving the car and pointed to the windshield. You know, he had very good body language. And then he talked about the vending machine, which I had a similar experience, and that drew me in. And I just remember coming into work one day and somebody said, if you want a bag of chips, it's right there hanging there, and the bag of chips was leaning against the glass. This machine didn't have any sign on it, but I've seen signs on it. So, you know, he said there's a sign on there. I just took the machine and did that, and it fell down. and that's the reason why I was drawn into his speech. Now, the other thing is I've also had the experience, which he described very well, of hitting your head against the wall, you know, and you try harder, and somebody's got to come along and say, it ain't gonna work, try something different, which he came to at the very end, the conclusion. He said, try smarter, you know, and you could tell that was the running theme of his speech. Now, the only thing, and this is my personal opinion, that I think that he could have done better was speak louder, and then when he got to the dramatic point, the high point of his speech, was to say something like, try harder, you know, emphasize it a little more. But you know, there's a trade-off, because we were already entertained. I was entertained. He had all the body motions and the language and everything, and he really didn't have to do that, but it would have made the point. This is the dramatic part of the speech. So, with saying that, I would like to just say that keep going the direction you're going. Your speeches are getting better every time you give a speech. So, thank you.